What if we told you that a really key part of global food security and environmental sustainability, too, was growing incredibly fast, and that it all revolves around fish?
Yeah, fish, believe
Yeah.
it or not.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into an industry you might not expect to be quite so pivotal. It's the global market for fish breeding tanks.
hmm And our insights, they're coming from a really comprehensive report by Cognitive Market Research.
And we're here to unpack exactly what's driving this, well, this quiet revolution.
Yeah, our mission for you today is, to explore the pretty astounding growth, look at the key innovations making it happen, and pinpoint the regional hotspots.
Where is this industry really booming?
Exactly. We want to show you how something that, well, seems pretty niche can actually have a massive global impact.
And when we say massive growth, we're really talking here. A market valued just under $1 billion back in 2021.
Right, 937 million or so.
And it's projected to more than double, over $2.5 billion by 2033.
That's a huge leap.
It really is. That's a robust compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of over 8.6% every year.
8.6%. That's consistently strong.
But this isn't just about, building more tanks, is it?
No, not at all. It's really driven by a bigger shift, a global shift towards sustainable aquaculture practices,
Right.
and also a rising demand for high-quality, controlled environments for actually farming the fish. More control means better quality, often.
Okay, so that's the big picture. Huge growth, sustainability drivers. But where exactly is this happening? Where are these waves of growth crashing?
Let's navigate the global currents a bit.
Let's see which regions are really leading the charge. And maybe, more importantly, uncover the sort of unique stories behind their numbers.
Well, what's truly fascinating here is how diverse the motivations are.
Yeah.
And how different regions contribute to this overall picture. Each one has its own unique drivers, its own impressive numbers. It paints a really global story of, well, innovation and necessity.
Okay, so let's start with Asia Pacific. The report says it's clearly leading the charge.
Oh, absolutely. Poised to nearly triple its market size by 2033. It's growing at an impressive 9% annually.
9%. So
Yeah.
that makes it the global growth leader in terms of sheer market size.
Exactly. And that's, well, it's no surprise when you look at the key players there. Countries like China, India, Japan, they're right at the forefront.
And in India specifically.
India, yeah, is showing remarkable momentum. Its market for these tanks is expanding by almost 9.8% each year, nearly 10%,
Wow.
which really highlights their significant investments in inland aquaculture.
Okay, inland. So farming fish away from the coast.
Precisely. Often utilizing these very breeding tanks, it opens up vast new areas for production, and helps reduce pressure on wild fisheries, which is critical.
Makes sense.
Plus, you've got countries across Southeast Asia, think Singapore, South Korea, they're seeing strong growth too, often fueled by favorable climates and their export-driven aquafarming models.
Export-driven, right.
Yeah.
Producing high-value fish for international markets.
Ex-
But hold on, you mentioned something interesting before. While Asia-Pacific leads in size, the fastest-growing region, percentage-wise, is actually Africa.
That's right. It's quite striking. Despite starting from a smaller base, its market for these tanks is set to quadruple by 2033.
Quadruple.
Yeah, boasting an incredible annual growth rate, that CAGR, again, of nearly 12.5%.
12.5%, that's huge.
It's a truly remarkable surge,
Yeah.
and for really critical reasons. You see Nigeria and South Africa both reporting annual growth rates over 12%.
Okay.
And maybe surprisingly, the rest of Africa category is growing even faster, almost 12.8% annually.
So what's driving that surge?
It really signifies a huge investment in fish farming infrastructure. It's driven by, well, a critical need to meet local protein demands, which are rising fast, and also to capture export opportunities.
So turning local aquaculture into an economic driver, too.
Exactly. It's both food security and economic development.
Okay, interesting. Now let's shift focus. Across the Atlantic, South America, also looking pretty vibrant.
Very much so. Emerging as a really vibrant hub, its market is projected to almost triple in size, growing by roughly 9.6% annually between 2021 and 2033.
Almost hitting that double-digit growth, too.
Very close. And Argentina is really leading that charge, seeing annual growth over 10%.
Over 10%, wow.
Yeah, and Brazil, Colombia, they're close behind. Makes a lot of sense. They're vast freshwater resources.
Right.
And these expanding aquaculture projects are just powerful catalysts for this growth, especially for inland aquaculture potential, like we talked about in India.
That freshwater resource is key.
Absolutely.
Right?
And even the rest of South America category reflects a promising trend, nearly 10% annual growth there, too.
Okay, so strong growth across the board there. What about North America? Still a major player.
Definitely a key player.
Yeah.
Its market's expected to more than double by 2033.
And the U.S. specifically.
The United States alone generated over $200 million back in 2021. It's forecasted to hit over $500 million by 2033.
$500 million just in the U.S.?
Yeah. In Canada and Mexico, they're also experiencing accelerated growth. Their markets are growing by over 9% and 8% annually, respectively.
Yeah. So similar drivers there. Sustainability, tech.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's largely driven by governments in the region increasing investments in more sustainable aquaculture, trying to move away from maybe some older traditional methods, and adopting these advanced modern tank systems. They just offer greater control, more efficiency.
Got it. Okay, Europe next. Steady demand, you mentioned.
Steady demand and, importantly, advanced infrastructure already in place in many areas. The market there is expected to expand significantly, reaching almost $460 million by 2033.
Up from about $177 million in 2021.
That's right. And you see countries like France with nearly 9% annual growth.
Nearly 9. Oh.
And Italy, around 8.5% annual growth, posting very healthy figures. And the UK, Germany, still contributing substantially. They have that long-standing advanced aquaculture infrastructure. But what's also noteworthy is the rest of Europe category.
Oh.
Collectively, it shows a strong annual growth of over 9.5%.
Over 9.5% for the rest of Europe.
Yeah, which really signals growing adoption and investment in maybe Eastern and Southern European nations too, spreading out.
Interesting. Okay, one more region to cover, the Middle East. Smaller market size, you said, but consistent growth.
Exactly. Relatively smaller, yes, but remarkably consistent growth, projected to more than double by 2033.
And any standouts there?
Well, the UAE and Egypt are actually outperforming the regional averages.
Right.
Annual growth rates of roughly 8.3% and 7.7%.
Okay. And what's unique about the drivers there? Because the environment's quite different.
That's the really unique part. Their growth is supported by innovations like advanced water recirculation systems.
Ah, the closed-loop system.
Exactly. Within the tanks, filtering, reusing water makes aquaculture incredibly efficient, incredibly sustainable, especially where water is scarce.
Makes perfect sense.
And advancements in desert aquaculture, literally finding ways to farm fish efficiently in arid environments.
That's incredible adaptation.
It really showcases how technology is helping overcome challenging conditions.
Okay. So we've navigated the globe, seen some, frankly, impressive numbers, touched on drivers from sustainability to food security to tech. But stepping back, what does this all mean for us? Why should you, our listener, really care about something like fish breeding tanks?
Yeah, it's a good question. If we connect all these threads, pull it together into the bigger picture, this rapid expansion across continents, it isn't just about fish tanks.
Right.
It reflects this powerful convergence of critical global needs and, well, cutting-edge technological advancements.
So things like food security.
Definitely. We're seeing food security initiatives, especially prominent in places like Africa and South America, driving a real, tangible demand for controlled, reliable protein sources. Fish farming in tanks provides that.
And the sustainability angle.
That's huge, too.
Yeah.
There's a clear global shift towards environmental sustainability, moving to controlled aquaculture environments like the ones using those water recirculation systems we mentioned in the Middle East. They drastically reduce the environmental impact compared to some traditional methods. Less water use, less pollution potential.
And the technology itself.
And the sheer technological advancements in the modern tank systems themselves, especially prominent maybe in North America and Europe, they're making it all more feasible, more efficient, more widespread.
So this niche fish breeding tanks, it's kind of a microcosm.
Exactly. It's not just growing. It's truly a microcosm of these larger global trends playing out. Food, environment, tech. It really highlights the incredible adaptability and innovation we're seeing across different regions.
Adapting to meet their specific needs.
Right. Often in highly inventive ways like that desert aquaculture example.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So this deep dive, it really shows us that sometimes the most impactful solutions to huge global challenges, food security, sustainability, they can emerge from pretty unexpected places.
Driven by quiet innovation, steady growth.
Exactly. And it kind of raises an important question, doesn't it? What other, hidden industries like this are out there quietly shaping our future?
What else deserves a closer look?
Definitely something to think about.
Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a world that seems incredibly specific, maybe niche even, but it's actually surprisingly vibrant. We're talking about the fish breeding tank market.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know on the surface maybe sounds a bit dry, but our sources piled up, and honestly, they reveal some genuinely surprising stuff.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
This isn't just about, fish in boxes. It's tied into global food security, high-tech agriculture, even education.
Absolutely.
So yeah, get ready for a shortcut to understanding this whole evolving space.
And it's intriguing because it really has this dual appeal, right? You've got the huge commercial aquaculture side, vital for food. But then there's this massive surge from hobbyist breeders too, the ornamental fish folks.
Right.
So our mission, let's say, for this deep dive is to kind of unpack what's driving it, what the tricky bits are, the challenges, and where it's all heading. You might be surprised, actually, how things like tech, sustainability, and just personal interest all weave together here.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. If it's got these diverse uses, the growth must be pretty significant. What's really fueling the demand for these fish breeding tanks? Is it just more fish farms popping up or something deeper?
It's definitely deeper. Yeah, the primary driver is that increasing global demand. For protein, so aquaculture for food security is massive. But alongside that, the ornamental fish trade is just booming. People love having beautiful fish.
Okay.
But here's the key thing, the really vital part. These tanks provide controlled environments. Super controlled.
Not just a bucket of water.
Exactly. It's about creating this precise optimal habitat, and that dramatically improves survival rates, reproductive success, everything. It makes the whole process way more reliable, more efficient. Doesn't matter if you're a small setup or some huge industrial operation. That control is gold.
Okay, that makes sense. Demand plus better results.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting for me. The tech. What innovations are making a splash, so to speak? Are we just talking bigger tanks, or is there smarter stuff going on inside?
Oh, definitely smarter. Way smarter. The real leap isn't just size, it's intelligence. We're seeing some incredible advancements. Think smart filtration systems that are constantly checking water chemistry.
Wow.
Precise temperature control that mimics exactly what the fish need. Automated oxygenation.
So less guesswork.
Way less. These aren't just bells and whistles. They fundamentally change the game. They boost efficiency like crazy, cut down massively on manual labor, and honestly, they make fish breeding more accessible and skillable. You don't need to be a master chemist anymore. The tank helps.
It's like having a little robot fish scientist in there 24/7.
Pretty much. Preventing problems before they even start.
So what does this all mean for the bigger picture? We hear so much about sustainability, local food, climate change. How do fish tanks fit in?
They fit in surprisingly well, actually. This connects directly to that growing awareness, that need for sustainable, localized food systems. I mean, think about it. Overfishing is a huge problem. Climate change impacts oceans. Food security is fragile. Fish tanks offer this, well, eco-friendly, localized alternative, especially for inland production. You can set up a farm far from the coast with minimal ecological disruption.
Bringing the fish farm closer to home, basically.
Exactly. Reducing food miles, carbon footprints, making us less reliant on these long, vulnerable supply chains. It's a pretty powerful angle.
That paints a really compelling picture. Lots of potential. But let's be real, it can't all be smooth sailing, right?
Definitely not.
Every booming market hits hurdles.
Yeah.
What are the big challenges here? What's holding things back or making it difficult?
Good question. Yeah, the first major one, and it's a biggie, is the cost. The initial investment.
The setup cost.
Right. We're not just talking about the glass tank itself. It's those advanced filtration systems, the temperature control units, the monitoring gear. It adds up fast. And that upfront cost, it can be a serious barrier, especially for smaller players or maybe folks in developing regions where getting that capital is just harder.
So the tech that makes it efficient also makes it expensive to start.
Exactly. It's kind of a double-edged sword there. The barrier isn't so much the how-to anymore, it's the how much. Building that little aquatic biosphere costs money.
Okay, that makes sense for starting up. But what about someone already running? Say, someone trying this in, I don't know, a city apartment. You mentioned hobbyists.
Yeah, that's where you hit different but equally tricky problems. Urban breeders often struggle with, well, space, obviously.
Limited square footage.
Right, and even things like fluctuating indoor temperatures or maybe less stable water parameters if their source water varies. It makes it genuinely hard to keep that super stable environment fish need. And there's another thing people sometimes underestimate: the complexity. It's not just add water, add fish,
Hmm.
you need real knowledge. Water chemistry, fish biology, disease prevention. If you lack that specialized understanding, especially at the hobbyist level, success can be pretty limited. It's like managing this tiny, complex ecosystem, and it can go wrong fast.
And speaking of going wrong fast,
Hmm.
there's a big risk lurking in these confined spaces, isn't there? Something that can wipe you out quickly.
Oh, absolutely. Disease outbreaks.
Y-
That's the nightmare scenario in tank systems.
Because everything's so close together.
Precisely. In a confined space, if you don't have really strict quarantine protocols, rock solid biosecurity, pathogens can just rip through a population, days sometimes.
Wow.
And that means huge financial losses, obviously, but also damages confidence in the whole tank-based approach if people see it as inherently risky or fragile. So yeah, that controlled space that offers so many benefits, ironically, it also amplifies that disease risk like crazy if you're not meticulous.
Okay, so we've got these amazing drivers, demand, tech, sustainability, and these very real hurdles, cost, complexity, disease risk. Balancing all that, where do our sources suggest this market is actually headed? Let's look ahead. What are the key trends shaping the future here?
Right, looking forward. One of the most revolutionary trends is definitely the deep integration of IoT, the Internet of Things.
Ah, the smart tech again.
Exactly, but
Mm.
even smarter. We're talking sensors constantly monitoring everything, temperature, pH, oxygen, ammonia levels, all in real time. These are becoming standard, not optional extras.
So data, data, data.
Tons of it. But what's fascinating here isn't just having the data. It's moving from being reactive, oh no, the pH is off, to being proactive and predictive.
Like the system anticipates problems.
Sort of. It optimizes conditions constantly based on the data, heading off issues before they even become problems. It's giving breeders this incredible data-driven control, almost like an AI brain for the tank.
It sounds less like farming and more like, I don't know, running a biotech lab.
It's getting there. And maybe that's why we're seeing new kinds of users getting involved beyond just the commercial fish farms.
Oh, like who?
Well, educational institutions, for one,
Mhm.
and research places. Universities, even some schools, are using these advanced fish breeding tanks.
For teaching?
Yeah, for marine biology programs, aquaculture studies, environmental science. It broadens the market way beyond just commercial production. These tanks become living classrooms, dynamic research labs. It helps train the next generation of aquaculturists and scientists, too.
That's really cool, turning tanks into teaching tools. And what about those urban folks you mentioned, the ones struggling with space? Are there solutions coming for them or for larger places trying to maximize efficiency?
Definitely. That's another big trend. Modular and stackable tank designs.
Ah, like building blocks.
Kind of, yeah. Super space efficient. Perfect for a city apartment where every square foot counts, but also great for commercial farms wanting to pack more production into the same area. And often these modular systems are tailored for specific fish species, which makes them even more effective.
So more people can get involved, even without a huge barn.
Exactly. It's not just saving space, it's kind of democratizing breeding,
Right.
making it accessible whether you're contributing to local food or just pursuing a really specialized hobby. More people can participate.
Wow. Okay, this has been a genuinely fascinating dive. We've gone from these massive industrial farms pumping out food to university classrooms teaching marine biology and even potentially someone's city apartment nurturing these delicate little ecosystems. The fish breeding tank market is clearly evolving incredibly fast. It's this amazing mix of sustainability goals, cutting-edge tech, and this growing community using it in all sorts of ways.
It really is. And if we just, zoom out for a second, connect this to the bigger picture. This whole evolution of controlled, localized, tech-heavy systems like these tanks, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does this mean for how we approach food production, how we integrate technology, even how we educate in the coming decades, especially as these kinds of solutions get cheaper, more accessible, more integrated into everyday life?
That is a lot to chew on. A really provocative thought to end on. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope you, the listener, keep exploring the fascinating worlds opening up around us.